Alright, so it's gonna be a bit later. Unfortunately, I worked incredibly late and went to bed as soon as I got home. But we will be doing a video just going over the mid-month banner. I definitely did not call it an end-of-month banner or anything. I definitely did not do that. But I just asked what your guys' thoughts were on it, and let's see what people talked about. So, Clear Haze, let me actually back out. It's chopping it off a little bit. So Clear Haze, Caleb, when they realize they don't even have to make new art, just screenshot KUBO's drawings, paste them into the game, and call it a banner. I can see why people would call it lazy, because it literally is just KUBO's art, but I think they're not good enough to replicate KUBO's art, because I think the main appeal for these characters is that it is KUBO's art that they're doing. I don't think they're good enough to just like actually... Oh, so I'm going to say my takes on the banner actually after this comment, but I don't think they're good enough to actually replicate it and then call it KUBO's art. They could try mimicking it. I'm curious how they could do. Like, maybe they... Because, I'm not going to lie, the model standing here is really weird. I don't like it. I think it looks off-putting. And then the fact that they also blocked them off, I think they should have at least cropped them out and then just filled in the blanks. Because I know that Rangiku was, like, completely covered by another person. Let me find the art that it's based off, actually. Alright, so this is literally taken from the page, apparently. I didn't realize that when I clicked this. But, yeah, like, as you can see, like, Rangiku is, like, completely covered. If we ever even get more, like, Yoruichi is completely covered. Ikumi is pretty much covered. NELLIEL is pretty much covered. I think what they need to do is just fill in the blanks, essentially. I feel like it would look weird, no? I feel like they might mess it up, and it would just kind of look... Also, I'm definitely getting demonetized because of Orihime, so I'm going to click off that, but, like... I don't know how they could do it without it not looking like KUBO's art unless they just literally copy it, you know? You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's so, like they have those little bars over it. Like, they want it to look like KUBO's art, but they don't want to fuck it up, essentially. So I can see why, but I can also see why people call it lazy. I think it's just a cool concept. So I guess I kind of said what I was saying. But, yeah, so I'm going to say what I think about the banner. I think the format is stupid. Bring back mid-month banner formats for these banners. Like, why are we doing a Zenith-ish banner where it's every 20 steps for a pity character? Just make it every 10 steps so they guaranteed one of the other character. Like, come on now. I don't mind the double pity or whatever, but, like, at least, you know... 10 guaranteed character, 20 guaranteed character, and then step 25 is pity. Or fuck it and just make step 20 pity at this point. I don't think anybody would complain about step 20 being an actual pity versus a random one. And then the filler I think is pretty garbage. I think there's like 2 or 3 good characters, but besides that, they're all pretty trash. And then I think the concept is cool. Looking forward to other characters we could get. Because if you just like look up Jetbook, like KUBO's art, there's other ones, like there's the other swimsuit one, which is them like younger. I think it's during the Soul Society, because Orihime looks much younger, and then the one I showed you, she had like a wedding ring on and stuff. They look much older, like and it has like Rangiku with like, the orange hair, so it's pre-1,000 Year Blood War. So I don't think we're gonna get that one, but yeah. I guess I typed in swimsuit, so it's only going to show swimsuits now. But there's a bunch of other KUBO art that we could potentially get, which I think is the most exciting part. Like the more iconic one, Ichigo in like his white coat, we could potentially get. You know, that really iconic one. I don't really know how to describe it, but it could lead to something being really cool. Because this one I think is very tame. Very tame. I will say, Rangiku not being in an actual swimsuit is an L. They should have just yoinked the swimsuit that they had in the other one. It's like a whitish swimsuit. I know it was either Saruji or Aaron I watched that brought up where's the white swimsuit. And that's what she was wearing in the other one, pre-1,000 Year Blood War, where she has like the orangish hair. NELLIEL I think looks fine though. NELLIEL I think looks really good. Either way. Onto Moon Brown. This is a pretty cool concept in itself. My only gripe is that it's just a face shot and not a full body portrait, but still a really cool concept. Yet again, I have to assume it's because they are not as talented as KUBO in terms of like drawing. You know, it's just how I feel. But I can understand why people would call it lazy, because it literally is just a screenshot. So I'm genuinely curious if they actually tried to like make this art. I want to see if they actually tried it, and I want to see what it looks like. That would be interesting, but oh well. Probably we'll never see. Dr. Wavy, I understand people feeling it's lazy and whatnot, but it's cool to have something like this in the game. That's not April Fool's related. Stuff like this can make an account box look that much more unique in comparison to another person's box. I'm actually curious, how does it look in game? Because I have my BBS open. You can just check the album. How does it? I've never even looked in the portraits. How does it like? How do they look in game? It's not even that jarring, really. Yeah, no. I mean, it's fine. It looks cool. I like it. Like it's nothing like insane. Like if you're scrolling like this, you're not gonna notice it unless you're like a big NELLIEL or RANGIKU fan. Like it looks normal. Maybe when it's highlighted, it may stand out a bit more, but it's perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. True power, I didn't believe it could be possible, but Caleb did it. A round of applause for how lazy it is, just taking a picture of KUBO's and OP news characters. The portraits of the album is so lazy. Let's not talk about the live was everything but a BBS live. The live was garbage. Every single BBS live, I'm sorry, has just been a joke the past year or two. I think they're always been terrible. I really wish they would just trim it down, trim out the fat, make it a 30-minute segment, and away you go. Just showcase the characters, do a little game, sure, but then show like the news. But no, it's like an hour, it's like 10 minutes of actual content and like 30 minutes or more of them just playing some game that they don't understand because they don't play BBS. They're not gonna know when some certain character dropped. Like, please get rid of that, please. Teleshopping live stream, and finally the late beginning of the English live and how Caleb treated the Reddit team with bans. It's clear Caleb does not give a shit about BBS. It is weird that they delayed it by like 10 minutes for whatever reason. They just forgot to click live, I guess. I don't know. Twitter was live. All their accounts on Twitter were live, but I don't know. But I've already said my piece on how I think it's not lazy. I can understand if you think it's lazy, but I don't think it's lazy. I just think that they're not as talented as KUBO. So they're like, well, let's just use KUBO's art. It's like a gift to the fans because it's KUBO's art. But if you think it's lazy, I mean, fair enough, you know, because it technically is. Alucard, I love it, but I'll keep my orbs. You know, it was also great. Tag team characters and transformation button. They're never going to do this again because that is 2 characters in one. That would be like selling you 2 characters in one. That is my theory as to why we are never getting tag team characters. And they also have to do extra animations on the character, more art, more work on the model. That's just my guess. It's just more stuff for one character. Is it cool? Sure. But I assume that's how Caleb sees it. KMS, I like the designs. This opens up playable high school warfare unit. Oh, that one too. Yeah, I really want the Yoruichi from that one. I really like her design in that one, if you've seen it. High school warfare units as well as Hell Arc. Oh, well, we delayed it by another 2 years. Thanks a lot, guy. Post time skip designs since they would be playable art. A bit lazy on their part for the splash art, but it's whatever. I mean, I think it still looks cool and all. I think it's a bit jarring, like the actual like art, the whole art, like because it's just like a drawing. But like in the game, you can barely notice it unless you're actually paying attention. Gitfin, the core concept is pretty cool. This introduced a whole new world of exciting possibilities, like the high school arts being implemented as units in the game, as well as the suited around cars. I can get behind it, as well as the idea of paying respect to Mr. KUBO's work. Some people call the crops lazy, but in my opinion, I don't see another way they could have done it. I agree it looks a bit awkward, but I'm personally happy with what we got. It looks alright. Yeah, like, they're not going to do better than KUBO. Like, they're just not. There's no way. I'm sorry. No matter how good you think Caleb is, KUBO is going to outdo them with his later art. Maybe his earlier stuff, sure, but 1000 of Blood War and insane. I really hope Caleb won't use this concept as an excuse to be lazy. I know it inherently isn't, but I'm just saying for the future. As for what the units offer themselves, easy skip. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fairly easy skip. I'm very worried because they did male swimsuits 2 years ago as a mid-month and gave them incredibly lackluster skills. And nobody summoned, like pretty much nobody summoned. There was just a regular seasonal, nobody cared. And we haven't gotten male swimsuits since. And then Future Society also came out with where it was like Orihime was fine. Noitora was a fine farmer, but like we don't need an incredibly broken farmer. We had Rangiku, so who cares about Noitora? Ulquiorra was needed at the time for the most part because Range Quincy was just an absolute nightmare to clear. But only one good unit right before swimsuits. Like most people didn't summon or didn't go very deep. So I'm wondering if KO's going to see the same thing on this banner, because it's not like an incredibly goon heavy banner, you know. It like Rangiku is pretty much covered up. And the format is terrible, the filler is terrible, and it's right off of the part 1 and part 2 anniversary. So if not a lot of people summon, I wonder if they're ever gonna do this again. They might not. I don't know. We'll have to see, obviously, but we'll have to find out. Hopefully they do more, because I do think that it's pretty cool. I hope they don't spam it, but you know, every few months, drop one instead of 1,000 or Blood banner on an end of month with an actual good format, and all 3 of them, or at least 2 of them, are good SP units, because unfortunately NELLIEL got a NAD unit, so unfortunate, but it is what it is. I like Nell, but easy skip, fair enough. Miku, hey there, I did 10 multis because I'm a big fan of Rangiku and Nell. Fortunately managed to get Rangiku twice, but no Nell sadly, although I find the idea of this new campaign interesting. I'm looking forward to things like High School Warfare. Overall, very good. Oh, okay. I was wondering what they meant by the campaign. I'm like, they got like nothing in the campaign. There's nothing to do still. They didn't drop any new content. But I see what they mean. They just mean like the actual banner and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's cool to see where it goes. Omar, honestly, W for Gooners, but I already gooned on my orbs for Yoruichi, so I'm skipping to save orbs. I mean, pretty much any character or any female character in Bleach that has a slightly heavy chest is goonable. I mean, KUBO would attest to that. He likes the big chest area. Just X, the concept is very cool. Hoping it stays, as KUBO has so much art that would be sick to play with, especially the high school uniform girl outfits. Maybe I should just show the art at this point. Everybody's mentioning it. As for the banner itself, should have been a crown. Would have added a lot more excitement just to see a good Rangiku for once. Yeah, I mean, she's a really good Rangiku. Hopefully she actually holds up in Guild Quest. I assume she will. I don't see why she wouldn't. But I mean, we all thought Ulquiorra was gonna be like the best character ever for power, and then so or Misaki. Oh my God, that was terrible. But you know, we'll have to wait and see. Valkyrie, love the concepts and love to see more. It's refreshing. Maybe add older characters as well, like Tatsuki. Asking for older characters is crazy. Like, you want better filler. If you want the older characters, get lucky in those shitty 6-star tickets, or just buy the packs, the monthly pack. Because that's how I got most of my older characters, is buying the monthly pack. Because it's pretty much the only way to get old seasonals, because you get the tickets daily, and then every month you get a ticket to like choose a character, and you get like 1 of 3. And make PvP shop cheap is so unfair with Uryu now. Bro, you can chill in 4C and still get pretty much everything in there. It's fine. Love to see an original design of Ichigo and... What? Autocorrect maybe? I don't know who the fuck Lot is. I don't know who that is. User, actually really fun idea. Too bad they had better options from KUBO Art. Seeing that they made it also got me upset. They could have used this as an anniversary 2nd part banner. The better option of the KUBO Arts, obviously, instead of NELLIEL and Rangiku. I mean, I think they just know swimsuit characters sell. They chose 2 hot characters that haven't had a swimsuit in a few years. It's been like 2 or 3 years. So it is what it is. I think it's a pretty tame one, yeah. But if they went off the swimsuits, I guess the only character we haven't seen in a bit would be Orihime. Her last character was Future Society, so that was about a year ago. And then I guess Ikumi and Karin and Ichigo's sisters, obviously, because I don't think they're ever going to get a character, but who knows? They might finish that drawing, I'm not too sure. But yeah, Orihime and Ikumi are literally like the only like oldish characters that haven't gotten a character off that artwork, so I'm not too sure. But obviously, yes, they could have chosen a different artwork. But I think they just think swimsuits sell really well, so they wanted to do that. They might release Orihime artwork. I doubt they would censor it. They have that one technique one where her chest is hanging off of her own chest, essentially, from how huge it is. Like, I don't think they might censor it a little, you know. They might make this swimsuit a bit bigger, because Jesus Christ, that swimsuit is tiny, Kubo. Come on now. But, I don't know. As long as the nipples aren't showing, I don't think it matters. American Waffles, the fillers are kind of decent, the artwork is good, but overall kind of an easy skip in general. It's a mid-month banner. Yeah, like last year's mid-month banner, I think it was a fairly easy skip, except that you could go to step 10 and guarantee at least one of the characters, Shinji or Kensei, and Shinji was a very good character. What was I reading? Banner format is decent, but could be better, like the banner format for the thank you summons. That's just me, though. That's just its own entire banner. The thank you summon sucks. I don't recommend ever summoning on those banners. Like, the only thing they give you, I think, is a 50 orb multi, and then that's, like, literally the only difference. Like, oh well. The thank you banner sucks ass. Tommy, this is not okay. The method of making people spend orbs on characters, so I don't know, is starting to bother me. I think that by now BBS has done his course, and that he will probably have an even lower peak later. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be less people, but the method of making people spend orbs on characters. So he's never seen a gacha game. Like, there are probably some. I know Nikkei, for example. You can literally just not summon on like anything. You can just vibe. That's what I do. I play Nikkei, I vibe. I don't give a shit about clearing content. I don't give a shit. But you can also not give a shit in BBS. You can just not clear a guild quest. You can clear 3 waves and call it a day. You still get your orbs. You can still do Senkaman and not care and still get orbs. Like, you're just not going to get as many orbs. But you're not forced to summon on any banner. Especially these characters. This banner is an easy skip. This banner is an easy fucking skip. Like, Rangiku is great, sure. But NELLIEL you don't need at all, really. Like, unless you're an S League, because I know she has the EX skill thing. Sure. But Rangiku, like, you have Soifan, you have Driscoll, you're fine. They didn't buff the range human, or the melee human guild quest. It's not inflated by an insane amount of HP. It's fine. Saying you have to summon, buddy, that's how they make money. Like, I'll never understand this concept. Man, making people have to summon for new characters is kind of crazy. Yeah, that's how they make money. That's how they keep the lights on, the 2 light bulbs on at Klab. Come on now, man. They need those $7. Come on. Like, I'm not glazing Klab. I hate a lot of shit they've done recently, but saying that they shouldn't be allowed to try to make money is insane. It's a company. You don't start a company to just be a nice guy. You want money. Unfortunately, Klab doesn't, though. They don't do anything good for trying to make money. Cat, it would have been a sweet seal to the anniversary if it was handled well. I actually like Rangiku's design. Might be my favorite swimsuit of her, actually. And finally, NAD characters are getting Raw Flurry too. I mean, hopefully that stays, because I will say that is a good change to NAD characters, just getting Raw Flurry too. It might just be an anniversary type thing though, so don't hold your horses. It could just be because technically this is part of a celebration, but we'll have to wait and see. Charizard, if it were the full body, it would be the best thing ever, but I'm not wasting my orbs on a face. I just think they couldn't cut it out, you know? Like, they're like, okay, how the fuck do we do this when half the characters are covered? But, yeah, I feel like they should have done the same design as these newer ones, but did, like, the poses of the older ones. So, like, Rangiku's, like, sitting up like this, off to the side. Yoruichi's off on the other side, you know? So, it's like the Soul Society era one, but because then you can like literally see everyone's full body. They're not like all clustered together in for like a photo shoot, you know. But I can understand that. Hirofumi, can't wait to summon them from fillers after 9 months. I mean, yeah, probably. They're limited, probably like 1000 of Blood Wars, since there was 1000 of Blood Wars seasonals in there. Faro, I think it's cool, but I wish the specials kept the distinct color palette of the art. Not the biggest fan of swimsuits though, so easy skip. I think they should have replaced June end of month with this, because that banner was kind of lame, and this one's at least pretty unique. June end of month? Yoruichi and Masaki, and then the ugly child? Yoruichi's fucking fire. Shut up. Randomizer, cool concept, terrible banner. Hard skip for me. Fair enough. That made me laugh. That caught me off. So I thought he was gonna glaze. I read this. I thought he was gonna glaze. No. Terrible banner. Shit sucks. Not too far off the truth. Kiwi, easy skip. Starlight, I already hate the swimsuit, so easy skip. Fair enough. Mr. Kamakiri. While I appreciate Klab respecting Kubo's artwork enough to sell them as characters, we saw these two in swimsuits 2 times already. It's boring. There's nothing new apart from some overly specific GQ skills. Maybe picking someone really unexpected and without units like Akumi or Ichigo Sisters could have been a better idea. I am sorry, but I do not want to ever summon for Ichigo Sisters. Especially in a swimsuit. I don't. Like, I just don't. Akumi! Hold up, his writing is fire. Hold up. Writing is fire. But, unfortunately, not as many people like Ikumi. They have to sell the characters. Nobody knows who that is. Like, I didn't even know who that... I did not know that was Ikumi until somebody told me. And it was like, holy shit, that's her? God damn. Like, I genuinely would not have guessed. It kind of just looks like Byakuya. Gender bent Byakuya from here, to be honest. But yeah, unfortunately, they have to sell these characters. And I'm telling you, Ikumi is not that popular. She's not going to sell. Nobody likes the Fullbring arc. Most people don't like it from what I can tell. They don't remember her at all. They remember Ginjo, Tsukishima, and that's it. Everybody, and I guess Haruka. Nobody else remembers anybody else. Ichigo Sisters, I'm sorry, I don't think should ever get a swimsuit character. Fight me. Fight me. Koki, easy skip for me. Fair. Real Soul, nothing special. Mbatu, pretty good banner. Got Rangiku for Sep. I am jealous. Gigi's wife, I will be a very happy woman when Kayla makes it to Giselle. That's probably next year. I can't lie. I'm kind of covered, by the way. I'll just read it out loud. I love Kubo's art of her. I caved and did 3 steps. Got my nail. Thank you, Tap. I have 6 KOs for Bird the Witch. Crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a lot of hate for this banner. With the amount of hate I'm seeing, I don't feel like we're gonna get another one. I can't lie. Like, there's so much hate for this banner. I'm not sure we're ever gonna get another one of these, especially if it doesn't sell well. Like, I don't think Aaron's summoned. I don't think Death is summoning. These are just the YouTubers I know. Maybe there's probably more. I know Saruji summoned, but on his alt, he did like 6 steps or something. I'm not doing a single step. Pretty grim look for this banner so far, and I haven't seen that many people summon. So we'll have to see it if it doesn't have the same fate as Future Society. So either way, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below what you guys think. Sorry this is coming out a bit later, but unfortunately I had to go to bed. It was kind of late. So take care and peace out.